Welcome back to the On Nerd Ones podcast, and welcome to the people in our live stream who decided to join us for this very special occasion where we commemorate Kashimo's death. People were gassing Kashimo up this whole time, BR, and
It's me
they're
on
both
people.
wrong. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say bitchless. Like really, what I think this
Insane.
proved to me at the end of the day is that Kashimo and people who like them are, in effect, what's a nice word for losers who can't power scale to save their life? That.
Hmm. Interesting statements
How
that
are
I'm hearing.
you,
Interesting
BR?
slander. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling pretty great. Great JJK chapter, pretty decent My Hero chapter, and a decent Super Smartphone chapter. And, just happy to be talking about a couple of those chapters at least. At least one of them had something I like to say about. As a Kashima fan, I'm honestly feeling pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie. Contrary to popular belief, I'm
Copium.
low key feeling
Morbium.
great.
L. This does not pass the
Ah,
Morb check.
and that's crazy. Do not bring you do not bring Morbius onto this fucking stream. No, how
Dude,
dare you?
let me tell you, in between bouts of just being sad as hell, all I've been doing on Twitter is just liking a bunch of Morbius memes. I have not seen the movie at all. I know nothing about it, but I saw that infamous fake screenshot where he's like, "It's Morbin time," and
Hmm.
I don't know, dude. It's like between the Anya Photoshop meme and this being back to back, I'd say Twitter memes are kind of at an all time high right now, and I can't wait for in 2 weeks to be in the absolute fucking meme drought. Because once Twitter finishes up, they need a bit to recuperate all that energy. But right now, I'm enjoying the Morbius sweep.
It's all fun and games until Sony comes out with Morbius 2.
It's all fun and
And
games until Morbius morbs. It's
oh my
Morbin
god,
time.
man, I'm sick.
My favorite,
Um,
fake title for Morbius 2 was Morbius.
bruh,
Morbius.
please stop. You're too deep into the Twitter sphere, bruh.
I've literally
You
never seen.
gotta, you gotta, you gotta get away.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, no, dude. Okay, right. We are here to talk about chapters of manga, not the greatest movie of all time. $10 trillion at the box office.
Yeah. God, dude, stop.
Oh my god.
You are a piece of work for sure.
Okay.
100% a piece of work.
Okay. I think I'm good. I think I'm good for now. Okay. So let's start off with Super Smartphone because I alluded to a hot take, BR, before we started streaming, and here it is. I think Super Smartphone had the third best chapter in all of Weekly Shonen Jump this week,
How many manga do you read in Weekly Shonen Jump?
like 6 or 7.
Which ones do you read?
Okay, so JJK, My Hero, One Piece, Super Smartphone, Mashal, and what was that last one? I think Undead Unluck.
Cool. So being better than One Piece, cool. I can agree with that. Better than Mashal, sure. Better than My Hero, I don't know about that one.
No, My Hero is
Um,
number 2.
okay. Third best, I mean, maybe based on the ones you've read, that's fair. I don't know. I don't think it was my third best.
Bro, I
'Cause I think
literally
like outside of JJK and My Hero, you've been just reading a lot of doo doo. Like
I
One
mean,
Piece,
bro, there's
okay,
like 20 titles in Weekly Shonen Jump right now. It's not like the pool is
sure.
so massive. Those 6 are like half, and fucking Ayashimon just got like canceled. So what am I gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, listen. All I'm saying, Mission Yozakura family kind of slapped it up,
it's
But like,
it's my next
you wouldn't know nothing
series.
about that, hmm?
It's my next series.
Huh?
It's
Is
my
that the next
next.
one you're picking up?
Yeah,
Nice. If you don't like it, you're disowned. Actually, sorry, but yeah, no pressure. It's pretty good. I think you'll like it though. I think you'll. I think it seems that it low key might be cream score. Low key.
dude, I have a feeling that if I were to make like a Cream's Core video, like what is Cream's Core? Anybody that I ask for any kind of manga recommendations the first thing I'm gonna do when they tell me, oh, what kind of shit do you like? I'm gonna send them to like a 3-hour video essay comprehensively explaining every single thing I like about a manga, and make like a 2-minute TLDR video. It just has to be a little goofy and a little serious, but people still have to die, but it has to be goofy.
Yep. Basically a Mickey Mouse series.
Yeah, Black Clover
with
top
the
10,
sprinkle,
bro.
yeah, with the sprinkle of seriousness, right? The more Mickey Mouse, the better. Um,
Dude,
so yeah, that's about it. That's about it for Cream Score. That's exactly what it is.
shout out to that
But
person that
yeah,
photoshopped Mickey Mouse into that Black Clover panel. Do you remember when that went around?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was fucking great. The dedication, insane.
What if Creams and BR fought JJK verse? I think we'd low diff mostly everybody except for Tabata or Takaba, Gojo, and now Hakari, who is confirmed to be number 3.
Personally, I wouldn't let Gojo beat me, but that's just how I move personally.
Yeah,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
We both know how Gojo feels about people of your complexion after what he did to Miguel.
Huh?
Dude,
Do you wanna explain?
yeah,
Do you wanna
I think
explain?
Gojo's a little racist. That's all I'm saying.
That's insane.
I mean,
That's
listen,
insane, bro.
are you really gonna sit here and tell me you didn't get Zoro vibes from that confrontation?
I feel like Gojo would be the type to say I don't see color, low key. Like I feel like what Gojo would do, his goofy ass would put on a blindfold, right?
Say I don't see.
And he'd be like, "Bro, I don't even see color." Like, shut your dumb ass up, Gojo. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that, and then I'd have to beat him up, unfortunately.
Bro, you'd get beat
Um,
up. He'd put you in a pack, dude. Let's be
No,
honest here.
I'd avenge Miguel. It's okay. You don't need to worry.
I'd avenge Miguel's tribe, dude. Because what Gojo did doesn't just go like to what he just did to Miguel, right? He just shredded Black Whip like to the
Yeah,
last thread.
I'll just avenge all foreign sorcerers. In fact, like every punch that connects with his face is just gonna be it's gonna be for the homeland for sure. But yeah,
BR punches through infinity. Satoru, I hate foreigners. Gojo, damn.
yeah, that's probably his middle name. Not gonna lie. But yeah,
That beatdown had venom in it. Is that a Venom fact? Is Venom notoriously about race? Is that what are you telling me the deeper thematic narrative of the Venom movies has been about race relations? That's it, dude. Instant classic.
interesting. Gonna have to go back and further analyze. Okay, but let me ask you this: since we somehow derailed from Super
Yeah.
Smartphone to the economics of Venom, what are your thoughts? Like, what are your projections for this series overall? Like, quality wise, what are you looking for from it? Length wise, like,
Okay.
what do you hope for?
I'm hoping for like so you know how Death Note was good until it was the worst series ever written, and the mangaka should honestly owe every single person who had the misfortune of reading, watching, viewing it a deep, sincere apology.
No, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, so everybody who knows about that, and it's actually a Japanese national holiday. It's called Death Note Apology Day, but hoping
Got you.
fingers crossed it gets passed. I want Death Note, but actually good and watchable. That's what I want from the series.
Oh, you're just such a bad. You just have such bad taste. It's insane. It's actually
have
it's
peak
legitimately
taste.
impressive.
Peak taste. Yes.
But yeah.
What about you?
I'm expecting not much. I like, and that's not because I don't think it's good. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm expecting like a solid like 6.57 out of 10 series that goes for 100 chapters and some change. Like, assuming it doesn't get axed, right? Under the assumption it does not get axed, I'm like, give me like 100 chapters, not much more. It seems like that type of series, like predicated on mystery. It's predicated on like all that kind of shit. Like, I'm not sure I even want it to go that far, because series like that are like based on the mystery elements and the thriller elements, someone like Tokyo Revengers, when they go on too long, they overstay their welcome and become utter complete doo-doo water. So
You heard it here first,
yeah.
folks. Tokyo Revengers is better than Death Note, I think is what you were trying to say.
I wouldn't. Ooh. Ooh, I was about to get mad. I was about to pop off. Like you just hit me or something. But yeah.
Honestly, dude, my real answer would be something to the tune of like, a decent 100 chapter and some change series. I think the big drawback with having a mystery based series or a detective based series is that you need to be short enough for people to not be able to like fully predict everything that's going to happen.
One Piece. Sorry, my fault. My fault. Go ahead.
You're not even lying, bro. Like my favorite One Piece theory isn't even by Ohara, although that is a decent number two. It's by this guy called the Library of Ohara, Arthur, who, if you're a One Piece fan, you know about this guy. This guy made like a 2.5 hour video just comprehensively breaking down what he thinks the One Piece is, as well as like all the missing lore that Oda's been teasing. And it's so good, in fact, that I feel like I just got spoiled. So I actually had to like stop the video, skip around a little bit, just to create artificial gaps in my own knowledge, because I was like, yo, this is a little too good, bro. I
It's
can't.
actually Oda just giving him information.
And he actually explained why he does this. And dude, this guy is the best. He's the best fan of anything I've ever seen. He's genuinely amazing. He has his own website called the Library of Ohara, where he literally goes and translates all of Oda's SBSs. He made like a comprehensive chronological timeline of all the events in One Piece himself, dude. Anybody who doesn't know what I mean, check out the libraryofahara.com. I think it's what it's called, but it's mind blowing shit. So there's that, and then he dropped the big bombshell. He was like, my big goal in life is to figure out what the One Piece is before Oda reveals it. And I'm like, did I just see a guy accomplish his life's dream right now? Because what the fuck?
He's just like, yeah, I really did it. I'm really like that. You know what I mean? I really just not outsmarted Oda, but like I figured it out before him. Isn't Oda like the manga who's like, yeah, if someone figures out what the One Piece is, I'll simply like change like what it was
Is
or whatever.
Because I know Kubo's built like that.
I've heard that before. Like that, like somebody once figured out what the One Piece was and he changed it.
Bruh. The only thing I hope the One Piece is not some kind of abstract the friends we made along the way concept, and that's it.
I would love that.
I would love that. You are a sadist, bro.
I'd want that because do you know how? And this is speaking as someone who like kind of enjoys One Piece and would probably hate that ending from like my personal enjoyment standard. But do you know how insane it would be?
The timeline would explode, dude.
Not only the shambles that One Piece fans would be in, but the insane amount of coping they would do to justify how it's good. Dude, it would be magical. It would simply be like, listen, you've seen the collapse of Attack on Titan fans, right?
Yes.
I don't even think their ending is necessarily bad. But if you make the One Piece the friends we made along the way, you're cooked.
Dude.
You're cooked.
Copium,
you're done.
The
you're
copium
done for.
that would be in the One Piece fan base mixed in with like the backlash. All of Twitter, it doesn't matter what kind of Annie person you follow, all of Twitter is going to be no man's land for a solid week. The videos are going to come out. The, no, Oda's a genius, you just don't get it. Trust the process. Dude, that's my favorite fucking copium One Piece fan tweet. Trust Oda, bro. Trust Goda.
That was one of my favorite tweets I made this week when I was like, dude, trust Oda.
Dude, and you chose violence with that, bro.
I don't know what he's making. I don't know what he's making, bro. I don't know. I didn't read the chapter. I just said trust Oda. And then people were like, it's funny because people that like probably don't know, because it got outside of like my general following sphere of whatever, right? So like people were generally like, yeah, I believe you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I could not help but laugh.
Joker
I could
moment.
not help but laugh when people were taking me seriously. I'm like, dude, I hope you put all of your trust in Oda. You read this chapter and it is dog shit.
Yeah.
Loki.
Dude, Akario, no, not Akario, sorry, King KT, yeah, Oda did confirm it wasn't like it was a physical treasure, it wasn't like an abstract concept, but if what BR is claiming is true, and he is just very, very spiteful, we gotta keep him away from Ohara and the Library of Ohara, we gotta keep him away from both, dude, because if he sees, like, that they just got One Piece, they just beat him to the fucking punch after, like, 25 years,
yeah,
that's it, dude.
Yeah. Go ahead. My fault.
No, say. I feel like what you're gonna say is way funnier.
I was gonna say, all right, isn't Oda, the same Oda who said like, "Oh yeah, the One Piece is gonna be a physical treasure." Isn't he the same one who said Kaido getting beat up by fists would be kind of an L? That
Oh,
Oda.
you
I'm just saying, like, I'm just
oh
saying, isn't this the Oda who I'll finish in 5 years? Oda. I don't know. I don't
damn,
know.
bro, you chose a little bit of violence right there.
I'm
That's
just listen. I'm
interesting.
not even saying. Listen, I'm not saying Kaido's beat up. I just want to make that clear. I'm saying I've heard from the grapevine that Oda said he like having Kaido lose to just some regular punches would be lame, and Luffy beat him with regular punches. That's just what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Now, is that true? I don't know. Let me go ahead and weasel my way out of this a little bit. That's just what I've heard from the grapevine, from some friends of friends. Like that's just
Dude,
what I've heard.
this
That
is
Oda kind of failed y'all, but couldn't be me personally.
this is how you win the gold medal in instigating an entire fan base. That is crazy what you just fucking did, dude.
Me instigate? I, no, of course not. I'm just saying what I've heard. Come on now.
Also, dude, thank you guys so much. I'm sorry to do this right now, but like y'all are fucking crazy. 104 concurrent viewers, and we haven't even gotten to the JJK part yet. Y'all are the fucking best.
Yeah.
Drop a like. Thank you so much. Dude, I don't know. Thank you.
Yep.
And Gege
Appreciate
is
it.
holy water, comes from the heavens and the earth because Gege alone is the honored one. There is no sacrifice too great for progressing the plot. Dude, Gege killed off his favorite character just to progress the plot a little bit because he was like, dude, I love Nanami, but fuck this guy. I don't have anything else planned for him. He's got to go.
Yeah, personally,
Personally,
but
I
like
wouldn't
it is
let
what it is.
Gege kill me,
No, no, no.
but that's just me.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him write me out of the story. But like, that's just how I move. Um,
That's how I'm
yeah,
built.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. It is what it is, though. It is
hey,
what it
hey,
is.
Anthony, you can't chat that. I'm gonna time you out, bro.
I said everybody leave.
Let's get to
They said
Hakari
scatter.
Jackson. Oh, dude. I didn't even know it was a Michael Jackson thing until I saw it on Twitter side by side. How do y'all know Michael Jackson's fucking choreography from a single music video he did 30 years ago right off rip like that? You just instantly
Michael
reference
Jackson's
it.
one of the most famous people to have ever lived.
What are
What
you
are you
saying?
talking about?
What do you know when he took a dump? How am I crazy right now?
No,
I am being
but one of his
gaslit.
most famous music videos from one of the most famous human beings who has ever lived probably is going to have a lot of people who notice that.
Dude, this is what I would call gaslighting. Textbook
No, no,
gaslighting,
no, no, no.
BR.
I think
This
you're insane if you think it's weird that people know about literally one of the most iconic human beings to ever like appear on Earth.
that video has
Like,
hundreds of
what are
millions
we
of
talking
views.
about?
Bro, so does Katy Perry's song. I forgot the name of it, which is not it does not bode well for the case I'm making. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I
Mm,
feel like I fumbled there. Okay. Let me just touch on Super Smartphone real quick, and then we'll just blast through My Hero, and then finally get into the weeds with Hakari, right? Okay, so Super Smartphone, I've been enjoying the hell out of it. The villain reveal coming in at after 4 chapters is already like I'm already really satisfied with the pacing, but I was like rubbing my hands together because I was really really scared after the great chapter 1 it had that it would do that thing where it would do like Freak of the Week kind of shit. And so far, 3 weeks later, knock wood, it hasn't done that. So uh, here's hoping that it carries that energy all the way through. Honestly,
sure.
even if it's like 100 chapters, like perfectly, I think that can still make for a very satisfying story. My favorite character has got to be the MC, dude. He has got the right level of apathy and compassion that I just adore. Because, okay, little. I'm gonna get on my soapbox real quick, right? Most people don't know how to write smart characters that are also normal people. Like, have you noticed that even like in the US, right? Something like Big Bang Theory, it's like the asshole genius character that I absolutely fucking hate. Horrible, like I think you're using a crutch right there. Like aren't smart people smart because they're supposed to have like I don't know more empathy? They're supposed to be more attuned to everything. Like it's psychotic to me that people are just like, oh no, he's so smart, he doesn't even look at people in the eye. He just pisses on them, and you're like, what?
I mean, I think a lot of smart people like are assholes though. as
Well,
a smart person myself.
oh my god.
I don't look at any of you as on my level. No, I'm joking, but I do think that like I mean I think as with anything, a superiority in a certain thing will breed arrogance, and arrogance will typically will lead to you believing you're above them or someone's less than. So, I mean
But
like
like
yeah,
Senku, for
I don't know.
example, awesome character, love him, right? Because he's just a good dude, you know what I mean? Like he's smart as hell, but he's just a good guy. He has like friends who are, not very smart, and he just loves them, you know what I mean? Like he very much it just likes the rest of humanity. He likes entertainment. He's just a good dude, you know?
Yeah, good people aren't always that interesting though. Sometimes I want to see an evil person as the main character.
Senku is S tier protagonist.
You're insane.
Him and
But
Asta.
anyways,
Him and
dude.
Asta, bro.
Okay, I'm not about to listen to this
Dude,
anymore.
dude,
I'm not about to listen to
my
this
next
anymore.
video
There's
is
no way.
basically an Asta, like a mini Asta video essay, just gassing him. So
Chant, please cook this man for saying Asta and Senku are S tier. Get him out of here, bro. There's no way. It's not possible. That's
uh
not possible, bro.
dude, how I refuse to be this guy, okay? Positive protagonists that are smart are fucking dope. Deku, Senku.
He's
Okay.
not that smart though. Like he's smart, but like he's not portrayed to be that smart like that consistently.
I mean, he was
It's
kind of in the
it's
beginning. It
sort of
was like early
sort of
Deku.
like saying Ichigo's really smart, like technically, but
Ichigo
it's not really
Ichigo
matters.
isn't necessarily so smart. He just doesn't have rocks or brains, dude. Like that's it. He
I
doesn't.
mean, he's at the top of his class for the
Yeah,
most part. Like he's
yeah, but
I don't
like,
know, I consider that smart.
yeah, no. But I mean, like, bro, Senku rebuilt like half of civilized
Yeah,
society. You know,
Senku, I agree. I'm saying I don't think Deku goes in that category. I think Deku is smart in a similar way to Ichigo being smart, but I don't think he's a Senku or like a Light or like a any other like where being smart is like a core part of their power set almost. If that makes sense.
Creams upload more consistently so I can sub. I am trying my best. Damn
Is
it.
that the same guy?
I think it might be, dude. You kind of like shattered all of Annie too, because I tweeted that comment, and like fucking 40 people liked it, and like most of them were anti-tubers. I was like, I didn't realize this hit a nerve. Y'all are actually uploading consistently. It's okay. This one was just at me. I'm the problem, not you. You guys are doing
It's all
great.
right. You can fucking you can keep it pushing. Um
uh
yeah.
Asta greater than symbol Megami. I don't know if I agree with that, but you might send BR to the
Holy shit.
hospital, bro.
Holy shit. Who said that? Let me find you in chat. You're getting banned. You're getting banned. Um
I am sick of seeing cheerful protagonists. I think it's about how they do it, because I think like cheerful protagonists are very hit or miss. Like I think Luffy is kind of
yes.
unfairly the gold standard of this, but the guy is literally Joy Boy. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to give him that one. Plus, he was kind of the progenitor of it. So I don't even think that's a problem. Gon is a monster. So
The
you got.
progenitor of it. The progenitor of what?
Oh no, Goku is my bad.
Yeah, that's what I
Goku,
was about to say.
yeah.
I was like, Goku ran so Luffy could crawl behind him. Yes, sir.
I mean,
Um,
kinda. Didn't Oda literally say that Dragon Ball like inspired him?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I just think Goku fills a similar role to Luffy before the. That's all I'll say. Whether or not you think Goku is better, I don't really care. You can be wrong. I'm
Yuji
speaking
is
more to
my
chat
ideal
here.
cheerful protagonist. Yuji ain't
Yeah,
doing
this
much
man is
cheering,
not
bro.
cheerful.
No,
Yeah,
like
he wants
Mahito
to
took all the
die.
cheer out of him.
He literally wants to die.
Yeah.
Like he's not really that happy anymore.
No, dude, fuck Mahito. Sukuna killed any amount of like will to live. Like Sukuna almost single handedly took any ounce of hope, feeling of excitement, joy, just yanked it from Yuji's fucking hands, dude.
Yeah.
In like a single like 10-minute period.
I said Megami should have been the MC in JJK. See, I like the way you thinking. Like I disagree, but like I like the sentiment. That means you really out here pushing the Megami agenda, and I like that. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yuji needs a
now,
therapist. This man was cheerful until his first encounter with Mahito. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
oh no, I think someone just said like Goku's a good character but straightforward. And I'm like, have you seen Luffy?
Dude,
Um,
Luffy's the best. He's been like number one most popular character since One Piece started.
He's not even the most popular character in his own series most of the time, right? Doesn't he get
No,
like
he's
outranked
literally
in
number
popularity
one.
polls?
No, he's been number one in every single popularity poll.
I'm gonna check that One Piece popularity poll then.
Yeah,
Let me
there's
see.
actually a wiki. I think I remember it's so fresh in my mind because without spoiling anything for my future video, I needed a certain character's popularity rankings, and I saw Luffy's, and I was like, for real? Because I love Luffy, right? I think he's definitely like the best protagonist. Dot 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 asterisk. Yeah, he's won every poll. Um, and Luffy's funny. He's charming. He gets. He's got Peter Parker syndrome. You know what I mean?
Why you're comparing Luffy to one of the coolest characters in fiction?
Okay, so you know how Peter
Uh,
Parker, he's always been broke, always been just scraping by, disrespected constantly as Spider-Man, but he makes up for it in the fact that this guy's gallery, his reserves are actually unfair, bro. Like canonically speaking, Peter Parker gets so many women and of insane quality that in universe there's a term for it. It's called the Parker luck.
okay.
And you know who made that fucking thing? It was fucking Johnny Storm, the Human Torch from Fantastic Four, because they're like bros in the comics, right? And it's the funniest shit because the Parker luck is literally Johnny Storm. If you really break it down, it's Johnny Storm saying, "Peter, you get too many bitches, bro. It's unfair."
Yeah. It's unfair, Sure, everybody you love dies and hates you and like your relationships are falling apart, but like, you have luck with women, so unfair luck. Fair enough.
Un like a
Very fair assessment. I don't know if I classify Luffy in the same spot though. I don't know if I'd say that, but
Peter Parker equals Ichigo. No, dude. Ichigo is just a good. Like, he's just chilling. Like, 90% of the time, Ichigo is just minding his own business. What is Cream's on about? Yeah. Most people, I realize, man, I do have moments from comics that I just really fucking love, like with all my heart. But then there are moments that greatly outweigh them that I'm like, oh yeah, comic books kind of mid, and I think that's been the popular sentiment these last few years.
aw,
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Yeah,
We give our thoughts on Super Smartphone though,
yeah.
so that's nice.
Final ratings for that?
6 out of 10, I guess, for the chapter.
Oh, I was giving it like a 7.5.
Fair enough. I didn't really. The chapter was cool. I just didn't really care for it all that much.
Camden Moore.
Um,
Just from what I can tell, Cream says never pulled a female. Okay. Bully McGuire is my best friend. I would never have Black Cat as a girlfriend and having a good life. My God, dude, y'all are. Peter Parker is the Toji with the women in his verse. Was Toji Poland? No way. Was he?
Doji just had a wife.
Yeah.
Like he's not really out there. Out there.
Yeah. Manga American comics, as far as I know. Yes, dude. Spit. All right. Next, we got to talk about My Hero. Okay. Now, before we get into the actual chapter, dude, what is going on? What is going on? Why are you hating on Mineta? Why are you saying that all of Class 1A isn't about to low diff Shigaraki all for one in the entire League of Villains just with their intense stares?
What are we talking about?
What are you talking?
None of that comes up in the chapter.
No,
What? Hello?
yeah. This was referencing a tweet you made in response to somebody gassing up that last panel from the last chapter, where it was Class 1A just like with their serious faces on, and you were like, "Hey,
Uh, let's see. What did I say? I'll check. Oh yeah, that dumbass panel or that dumbass page. Yeah, what about it? What did I do wrong?
explain yourself. You have a lot to
The
answer
panel, the panel doesn't hit. Well, like what? Show chat the panel real quick. I'll send it to you, but show chat the page I'm talking about, so
Yeah.
they can
for. Send it to me, and
yeah.
I'll. Yeah.
Here you go. I'm gonna put that on the screen. Ask
Yeah.
him if that hits for him.
Dude, my favorite part is people cropping out Mineta. This guy, I forgot his name, and look at Tape, dude.
Yeah,
God.
none of these are. Most of these like. Most of these characters do not elicit a feeling of like seriousness. The ones we can take seriously are Bakugo, Todoroki,
Kirishima.
Kirishima, and maybe Uraraka because she has like some screen. Ida, I don't know.
I
That
would
even
okay.
that's a little bit of a
I
stretch.
would do Ida, Tokiyomi, and Tsukiyomi. I think is how you say it. And maybe, and this is by far like where this stretch of charitability ends. Momo.
Yeah. What's wrong with this panel though? It's supposed to be badass and like super intimidating, and it just fails to do that. Um, you know what I mean?
That's
Because like you can tell from like the shading, you can tell from the expressions. They're supposed to be eliciting like an intimidating, resolved, super serious thing, but it's like, dude, none of these characters have had the development nor strength to even back that up, right? Not none of them, but like Todoroki, sure, Bakugo, sure, Uraraka, sure, Ida, sure, but like a lot of these characters, like, dude, I don't care about fucking Sugar Rush or Shoji or like a lot of these characters are just weak and like unintimidating and usually used for gags. It's just weird. Like imagine if you have the Shibuya panel, right, where they're all like ready to go fight, and it's just like Miwa and like Momo and just
dude.
and like
Weren't you the
Udahime. Like,
same? Wait,
dude,
hold on. I gotta put you on blast. Oh
but
shit.
we're talking about the beginning of Shibuya, right? That's pre-power up Miwa.
Pre-pop. You are psychotic, bro.
Okay.
How are you?
Listen,
I refuse to believe anybody's a Miwa stan. You don't exist.
Miwa,
You don't prove you
Miwa's dope.
exist. Prove you exist.
I didn't say I did.
Prove you're a real person, please.
What if I'm not? What if this is just a hallucination?
Who dares?
What are you gonna do then? Nothing. There's nobody here to talk to. You're talking to yourself. This stream, not even real.
I'm not
Yeah, what
real.
happens then?
Uh,
Yeah, what happens then? Anyways, me
uh,
was dope. That's it. All you need to know.
okay,
But she's
so
not super intimidating beginning of Shibuya.
Mega Miwas will be goaded in calling games. Y'all are crazy.
You're
What?
spitting, you're spitting, you're spitting. Don't get mad at them for
Mi-
spitting, bruh.
Miwa copium should not exist. Y'all are actually mentally ill. Seek help. Find God. I am praying for you.
Me was gonna one shot, bro. You're gonna have to eat your words.
Uh,
Anyways,
I don't even.
yeah, if you can't comprehend the argument, let's move on. What do you think about the My Hero chapter?
Oh my god. Okay. So as for the My Hero chapter, I think it was solid 7.7. Like it just fell below an 8 because the last panel was just I read it as like so corny that I couldn't take it seriously. It's cuz it's fucking dude, Earphone Jack is talking down All for One. How are you how come on. Come on.
And all for one gets cooked. We'll see, we'll see, we'll
No,
see.
no.
Now
I'm
Loki, now Loki, now Loki, him calling them jobbers is setting him up to be laughable when he gets done in by the jobbers he's been making fun of. That's all I'm saying.
There's no way this is a real take. I refuse to believe this is your actual opinion, BR. Come on.
We'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
Bro, yes, we will. They're gonna fucking die.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
We'll just have to see
All right, no memes though. What do you actually think?
about the chapter in general, or
Everything. You know, your turn, so to speak.
chapter in general is like an 8 out of 10. Endeavor's getting clowned on again, so that's interesting. Um, All for One seems pretty meta with some of his comments. I guess specifically the last one when he calls them like jobbers or whatever. Um, yeah,
Telling me,
it looks like Endeavor just lost an arm. I don't know if I read that right
tell me you read
or if I
this.
saw that right.
You see this last
Um,
panel, and you're like, shit, All for One's in trouble now.
that's the kind of line better said after victory, don't you think? That like listen, the line itself is kind of hard. I can't
Yeah, no,
lie.
no. The line is fucking hard. Makes me hard. You know how I work. But
Whoa.
yo,
All right.
earphone jack,
Let her cook, bro. Let her cook.
let her
She
cook.
she's let her cook. Y'all let Oda cook when he missed, bro. Let her cook. Give her a bit. She just got off the pan. Let her turn on the oven.
Dude,
Let her turn on the stove. Let her get to work.
you know what I think is going on with you? First Miwa, now fucking earphone Jack. You're trying to beat the misogynist allegations that you rightfully deserve.
Bro,
This
what are you talking about?
this is it, bro. Let's talk about this. This has been a long time coming, but recently, BR's been getting a little hot water because a bunch of different organizations that we can't name for legal reasons kept emailing the podcast, and they were like, "Hey, BR, going on his little tirades about how much he hates women, etc., etc. It's a bit much for us. Please tone it down." BR, this is the wrong way to do it. I disapprove of how you're trying to beat the allegations that you rightfully deserve.
Uh, what are we talking about? Bruh. Chat, ask him for a source. See what he says. See what he comes up with. You're gonna get one or two responses. He's gonna admit that he made it the fuck up, or he's just gonna tell you he can't show you, or he won't show you.
I protect
That's
my
it.
sources, bro. I'm a journalist through and through.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, journalists cite their sources, though, right?
Not me, bro.
Like,
That's how much I
they don't
protect
just
my
make shit up.
sources.
That's insane. You are insane.
I am
Um,
a hero.
My Hero Academia, yes sir. Wrap that up nicely.
Yes.
Overall, like an 8 out of 10 chapter. I think I said that already, but I think it was pretty good, pretty solid. Like I said, nothing crazy.
Genuine
Maybe 7.5. I'm not sure, but like it's one of
genuine
those.
predictions. I'm curious. What do you think is actually gonna happen next chapter? Like from this panel on, like realistically.
Um, they're going to assist and probably not die. They're probably just going to play support for Hawks and like let Endeavor recuperate if he is going to later in this fight. And they're going to be instrumental in All for One. Like even if they don't beat him here, they're going to be instrumental. Like what they do is going to like weaken him over time. It's going to be like what's an example? What is a? It's going to be like what everybody wanted Stars and Stripes to be able to do, like continuously weaken him over the fight. So like
I think the
he's like
um
their
the
weapon.
the thing about like pointing out his mask, like his life support system, is kind of a Chekhov's gun. So
Yep.
I'm wondering, like, do am I crazy or do Earphone Jack and who is the other person with her?
Shikiyami.
Yeah, no way they know about that plan, right? Like, because that was all like Hawks's internal monologue, essentially.
I mean, they. I feel like it'd be like obvious, but I do think they should know. Like that's something they should all know, especially if they're on the battlefield. And if they're not, Hawks can just tell them very, very quickly. I don't think it's like that big of a deal.
BR is Naoya because they both project like hell. Yes, dude. Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. Finally, dude. The union
Calling
against
me
you.
Naoya is insane. Because when Naoya comes back as a
Accurate.
misogynistic, vengeful cursed spirit, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna beat the allegation?
He just like me for real. That's what you're gonna say. You're just gonna have to come right out and admit it.
Oh, by the way, 80s. That's a crazy name to say. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, it is Tokiyame. But his hero name is Tsukiyomi, which I just called him because that's what Hawks called him in the chapter.
Yeah,
Um,
almost deliberately because I think he like was about to say Tokiyami and then he corrected himself and said Tsukiyomi.
yeah. Not
Uh,
trying to snitch on him.
all right.
But yeah.
Overall, My Hero Academia's war arc has been going fine.
Yep.
Now
Pretty alright.
to the coup de grace. JJK Jujutsu Kaisen.
Pretty good chapter. Pretty good fucking chapter.
Stellar
thoughts?
chapter, in fact, BR.
Sure.
Did you
Agreed.
know that the second I saw Kashimo getting fucking blasted, folded up like a pair of socks in the laundry? Because yes, you fold socks from laundry. I don't care what anybody says, right?
That's pretty stupid, but okay, continue.
Right. Actually looking like a bum.
Okay.
The first thing I thought of was... Sorry, I almost almost fainted there from excitement.
Enter your chakra, yes.
Yes, yeah. Shut the fuck up. Don't Naruto reference me. Okay. The first thing I
Enter
thought
your
of
chakra.
was
Not just a
vindication.
Naruto thing.
Vindifucking-cation. Okay? Kashimo's trash, Hakari one-shots, low diff, fucking mid, L plus ratio, plus, like, you're a clown for liking Kashimo, plus
Interesting.
Sukuna also one-shots both of them combined.
Nice. I disagree with just about everything you said. Like the very premise, I think I disagree with.
No way,
I was
you?
telling Tesla this. Yeah, I was telling Tesla this not the other day, like a few hours ago. I don't think Kashimo got folded here. Like, I legitimately don't think he literally to me
Copium.
does not perform badly here.
Copium.
Look, you say it's copium. Let me send you a couple of panels. Let me send you a couple of panels, and I want you to tell me if this is the this is someone getting folded. Let me just show you because listen, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, Hakari didn't do anything. That's not true. But saying he got folded because he got hit a couple of times to me is very disingenuous. You smelling a little ratty. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I'm just saying
Did you
they
say
definitely
anything?
going back and forth. Yeah, I'll send you the panels. I'll send you the panels. One of them being when he chops his fucking arm off, but I'll send you the rest. Listen, I'm not too fucking. I'm not afraid to admit, yeah, Hakari is putting in work for sure, no doubt about it, right? But washing Kashimo, I don't know. Y'all gotta kind of relax. That's all I'm saying. Go and pull those up on stream, bruh. And I didn't even show the when Kashimo ripped his arm off. But yeah, you go and show the other parts where Kashimo was putting the hands on him, bruh. How much damage did Kashimo even take? We don't know. So we have both of them going back and forth. We have Kashimo punching him several times and getting his hits off, with obviously Akari taking damage, right? And sure, they're going back and forth. But mm, I don't know. Like, and listen, y'all can say it's cope. That's fine. That's cool. Expect it. But like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm looking
Dude,
for like the wash that you guys are talking about.
how are you lying like this? Like do you feel
Like,
good
okay, show me.
purposefully
Give
spreading
me.
misinformation on the internet?
Oh my god, bruh. Give me like sure. Show me a sequence where Kashimo is getting completely overwhelmed and bodied without
The
any help of fighting
thumbnail we
back. I'd
used,
love to
bro.
see
The
it.
literal thumbnail to this live stream.
Bro,
What are
he
you
gets okay.
saying?
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Did Ishigori wash Yuta because he sends him flying once?
There is no way you're doing this.
Yuta literally takes more damage from that than Kashimo took in this punch. We can see that.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this, right? I'm willing to say Kashimo's durability is crazy because there's this one weird interesting detail that I don't know if Gege omitted on purpose or by accident because he's been falling off as a writer. I didn't say that. BR said that. Don't quote me. And that's the fact that he didn't acknowledge Hakari's usual cursed energy effect on the other person, because it's something he did with Charles, where he was like, "Oh, what is good with this guy's cursed energy? It feels like sandpaper." Yuji said it was like being hit with a bat surrounded by like serrated wire, and Kashimo, nothing, not a peep about it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, neither of their effects seem to be having like neither. Maybe you could say that's piling on some like low key damage over the fight, but like neither of their cursed energy effects seem to be that prominent. What
No,
I'm basically
no,
what I'm saying, chat.
K113. I
Go
didn't
ahead.
say that. That's a BR take. He keeps saying Gege fell off.
Easy. Anyways, I basically am of the belief, right? If you like, listen, I get it. Hakari came in, he has like unlimited cursed energy, all this cool shit, right? I get the hype, right? Completely. Hakari stocks are up for me too, right? But what I'm saying is this, right? I want you to show me like a page or a panel or a sequence of fights where these characters are like one of them's getting bullied, right? Because if you're like, oh, it's Kashimo getting his face mushed in, right? Funny panel, funny page, right? Really cool. I agree. Very dope. But like, do you want me to pull up Yuta getting like when him and Ishigori clash, Yuta goes flying off a building, spurting out blood like he's fodder or something, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like you can take damage and get hit without being trash, as Yuta has shown. That's all. Like, listen. And if you want to say Akari's stronger, that's fair. I've mentioned this before. I still, right now, have no idea who's gonna win. Um, I want Kashima to win way more than I want Hakari to win, right? But that doesn't mean I know who's gonna win. That being said, this chapter is not the chapter to say, oh, Hakari's got this in the bag, because Kashima has been, from as far as we know, fighting a full power Hakari, like an amped Hakari, and I mean, they've been going back and forth. With in fact, Kashimo like do at one point in time doing much more damage than Hakari did, but
Dude, it's
that's just me.
actually crazy. Okay, listen. I'm not gonna lie to you and say the Hakari getting his arm blown off with supposedly like his broken most broken form wasn't a kind of a red flag for me. But I will say this in response, right? The fact that Hakari has been foreshadowed, yes, I'm gonna whip out the F word here, has been foreshadowed to be on a roll,
Mm-hmm.
and by extension, being on a roll implies more than once. And now Charles's fight, that purpose in the story, has been
To
kind
power
of
him up.
paying off. I'm just saying, dude. Like
Sure, I don't disagree. Like, I think it's fine. Like, listen, he is on a roll, right? He's got
yeah,
his
and
jackpot.
his
He's
dialogue with
yeah,
Charles, where he was like, "Oh, I use my skill to improve my luck," right? Again,
sure.
also feels like foreshadowing for Hakari to really show his stuff. Like, here's how I think it's gonna go, right? I think it's gonna be like a 4 chapter fight, uh, probably including this one, and it's gonna go something like this: one, Hakari, one is obviously this chapter, but one from this chapter on, I guess two, is going to be Hakari going like, excuse me. Okay, it's going to be Hakari hitting the jackpot or trying to hit the jackpot again with his domain expansion, failing, right? Then we get to see a little Kashimo showcase, a little, oh my god, what's his big move? What's his and okay, listen. I know we talked about this last episode and I know where you stand, but Kashima domain expansion or my preference Kashima Maxim technique as a counter
Mm-hmm.
to Hakari, that's going to be the move, right? For the next part or two, it's going to be a little showcase of Kashima's abilities, all capped off with Hakari coming back and eking out a victory in the end. No Sukuna, Kashimo loses 100 points, and after that, Maki mid-diffs Kenjaku, end of the Culling games.
Interesting. So that outcome is very possible. I could see that. That typically is like the flow. Whoever has the advantage at first typically shows like a disadvantaged position later on, and it kind of like flips back and forth with a bunch of plot twists or a bunch of twists within the fight. So that's one of the reasons I think people are like kind of forgetting how Gege writes. Like, yeah, Hakari winning here. I mean, Ishigori and Ura were beating the fuck out of Yuta at one point in their fight too. Like,
Yeah, but
I
that
don't know
was
if that.
combined, and for
Sure, then why didn't they combined win? Like,
I
and first of all, it wasn't always combined. Like, Ishigori by himself simply put the hands on Yuta and was beating the shit out of him. Uro needed some assistance, sure, but Ishigori himself, like, in chapter 177, when they're just throwing hands, Yuta's only on the defensive and then just gets his ass beat for the most part. Um,
I mean, okay, listen.
Pretty
I'm
bad.
not saying that Kashima isn't gonna be absolutely insane against Hakari, and kind of implying that Hakari's gonna be done after this, right? Like the roles end with Kashimo because I can't imagine him maintaining this role past this fight because this really seems like Hakari's end. Not necessarily his death, but just like his end, having the spotlight within the Culling games is after this fight. Then one of two ways, right? Maki or Megami and Angel. But relatively speaking, Hakari's fights are going to be significant in that it makes the Jujutsu students, maybe Panda notwithstanding, but it puts the entirety of the Jujutsu students at the advantage because at that point, Kashimo, Uro, Ishigori being defeated, it's kind of like, well, game. That's kind of a wrap. You know what I mean? Are we?
Don't you think that's weird?
What do you mean?
Does that not throw you off at all? How easily they're obtaining these victories one after another?
Okay, yes, we
I
could.
can't connect to the Wi-Fi
Oh my
network.
god, dude,
You
what the
might have to
fuck?
connection
That scared the
with
fuck out of me.
Google Maps.
Yo, shut the fuck up, Google. Damn, dude, I almost pissed myself. Okay, sorry. Ah, God. Yo. Okay, I'm really hoping chat did not pick up on what the stimulus was, but ah, shit, they did. Fuck. No, man. No,
They're
listen,
ready to get cooked.
Listen.
150 people in here, by the way.
listen. Nobody's allowed to clip that. Okay, not a single one of you is allowed to clip that. I'm telling you right now.
Clip it. I'll clip it. Actually,
Oh
don't
my
worry, chat. I
gosh.
got you.
Oh my god.
Anyways, continue. What were you saying? Basically my point that I think you were about to respond to is I think it's weird as fuck that they've been so easily overcoming these challenges. To me, Kashimo is one of those characters, maybe sort of like Higuruma, that I feel like is going to be relevant continuously. Um, and I don't think he's going to like change sides as easily as Higuruma. Like unless you kind of like offer him up something he wants, which maybe is to meet with Sukuna. Um, but like, I think so. Here's what I'm thinking. The best way to preserve both of their like statuses as like characters is to just have them like because I don't know if Kashimo even cares about having points outside of using them for his own gain. Um, if Kashimo's like, yeah, sure, they're fighting, they're stalemating. He's like, wait a minute, I'll give you 100 points. Tell me where Sukuna is. I don't know how would they get to that conclusion, to be honest, but like I think anything else is gonna be like kind of weird for either of them because like it kind of like not downplays, but it inherently puts one lower on the totem pole, whereas both of them are being very hyped up right now.
Mm.
I don't know.
I mean, I kind of get that. But to kind of quickly address what Kashimo does to ensure their cooperation, I think it was already addressed in this chapter in that the like if I beat you, I need your 100 points, and Kashima's like, do as you please, like whatever. Because I think
Fair enough.
Kashima's really in it for the fight, and
Yeah.
that's their payment.
Hmm.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
how I see that being addressed. If you want to make the argument for death in the Cullen games, because Yuta didn't kill Uro and Ishigori. I don't know about Uro, but
Yeah.
Ishigori he definitely didn't kill because he got the point. So I'm wondering, like, they're still technically in the game, right? But
Yeah, there's so both of them are. Uro's alive and she left.
you can't leave the game.
Not leave the game. I mean, she left that encounter. Like
Oh
she
yeah,
left Yuta and Ishigori.
and I'm wondering, kind of coming back. Are they like is because it feels very much like Gege wants us to forget the fact that like this is all technically happening within like a couple hours of each other.
Yeah,
And
basically at the same time.
yeah, and the Cullen games is like a multi-day affair, and
Mhm.
and not even getting to the ending, but like when Kenjaku drops his bomb, which is what he's waiting for, is I think going to be like the first is going to be the tell that this is the second phase of the Cullen games arc, or like part two.
Yeah, maybe
So
I can see that. I just I think like so one I like Kashimo. He seems sort of like he's been hyped up to be very end game. The fact so this is something we got to talk about, but we can discuss it in more depth.
mm,
I think Hikari's like damn near confirmed to just fucking slap Yuta physically. Like in terms of like how they would go in like a fight, close quarters. Even if Yuta has a sword, I think Hikari wins 10 times out of. That's a bit of a hot. Like that's kind of hot. Like
wait,
a
are
crazy
you
thing to
okay?
say
Hold
now.
on. I want to offer two conditions at you, right? One is Hakari
Okay.
starting the fight fresh, and two is Hakari
No,
starting on a roll.
Base Hakari, I don't think is shit compared to Yuta. I don't think
Okay.
anything implies that.
Okay.
Hakari on a roll, I think should probably be like. Now, I'm not saying he would always win because Yuta's hacks are pretty fucking
Mm.
insane. But I'm saying like if it's sort of like a Yuta versus Yuji situation where Yuta isn't using his hacks at the moment, I think Hakari should completely fucking wash Yuta. Um,
What do you
like
think is the buff
mm,
to cursed energy that Hakari gets? Because it was kind of implied that not only does he have just like essentially an unlimited amount in that 4 minute span, but he also seems to have an assload of it in that span, like
he has too
bordering
much.
bordering
Um,
on above Utah levels. That's my
yeah, I think
yeah.
he has more than Yuta right now. Um,
Because
because and the reason I think that right is because of the narrator statement that the infinite cursed energy overflowing in Hikari's body caused him to reflexively use reverse curse technique. Whereas Yuta, like even if you say Yuta knows how to use reverse curse technique, which is true, right? You simply cannot demonstrate that at any point he's ever had enough cursed energy to reflexively use reverse curse technique, and that in and of itself applies that Hikari has more. Now, if you think Hikari's infinite curse technique thing is like a hyperbole, that's fine. It would still just mean oh Hakari has more because it's like it's activated this switch that Yuta can't activate via curse energy alone, right? Um
mhm.
that's basically what I'm saying. And
But the
it
whole
it
point of
kind of gets
Hakari is that he is augmenting himself in some way
true.
to like get past these conditions that he has to fulfill. Like that seems to be Hakari's just shtick as a character, right? So I just think it shouldn't even be a factor that he does this or not. because it always seems like Hakari is essentially favored to hit his jackpot every single time
So
he like
you think
engages in combat.
in base he would still be able to fight against Yuta?
I don't know. I don't
I
know. Like,
I yeah. I
uh,
think his biggest issue is that like um and this is why I think Kashimo in the next few chapters might take a like an advantageous position is because his domain does not protect him in any way. They just fight until he wins or he
yeah,
dies, right? And we've seen so for example, right, to use this Kashimo fight, if we know that Kashimo can fight off like because I think like if you disagree that's fine, but I think he's fighting evenly with Hakari, and if he's able to fight evenly with this Hakari, that means that like a Hakari without an amp should be ridiculously weak in comparison to Kashimo,
I'm
right?
so fucking curious what happened to Charles because I have to assume that Hikari got his
Depending on the
points.
jackpot, he might have one shot him, bro.
You
Like
think he
depending
killed him
on
by
it,
accident? He was like, shit.
I like if the jackpot immediately gives him infinite cursed energy, he dead ass might have one shot him like on accident.
Okay, but hypothetically, if he survives that, it kind of implies that like Charles kind of scales to a special grade.
Maybe you could always say he's holding back because he wants his points, but um, actually, hold on, maybe. I'm not sure. He seems to maybe get a nah. It's weird. Whatever.
Charles in the
Either
fetal
way,
position.
bro,
Dude, I
accidentally
love
put him in the back. That'd be insane. Um,
it.
see.
So man getting one shot off screen. I mean, low key, yeah. I mean, were you caping for Charles a little bit, M3D? Uh, come on, guys. Charles had
Do
zero
you
points. Did he really?
in- Interesting question. Do you think that cutting off Akari's head would kill him if he regenerates reflexively? I think so. Um,
Can't you say the same? Can you make the same argument for like any person who uses a reverse curse technique? Because we know for a curse, their vulnerable area, like how you permanently kill them, is through a headshot. But we don't
sure.
know if it's the same for humans.
Well, Toji or Gojo just says you lost the fight as soon as you didn't cut off my head, which kind of implies that like if he did, reverse curse technique wouldn't have been over to bring him back. That's the implication I get from that. That like Gojo is saying the limit of that, and it makes sense if curse energy is formed in the brain, right?
Mhm.
Um, so like if it is formed in the brain, then cutting that off completely, not just damaging it, but removing it would just make it so he can't revive.
Uh,
Which is why he might be virtually immortal rather than like truly unkillable. Um
uh, I refuse to believe that Charles Bernard is Utah level. That's dude. I love that chat. Let's go. Yo, you tell me you're not a Charles Bernard supporter? Like, what are we doing here? This is a Charles
Chat,
Bernard podcast.
let's talk about the implications of Akari just being above Yuta real quick. We agree he's above 15 finger Suguna? Is that what
Hey, we
have you finally
we
come over to
don't
the dark
agree
side?
on shit, dude. Who's this
Chat,
we,
chat, you guys got me right.
dude?
Chat, you guys, Hakari or Toji?
Why,
Hakari should
dude? Why do you
fucking honor
insist
roll
on
bully.
slandering Isukuna at every turn? I don't
Not
understand.
slandering him, bro. He's not at full power. Like if it makes you, would it make you feel better if I said Yuta's stronger than nerfed Sukuna? Would that make you feel like a little bit better? Would that
Kind
phrasing
of.
help out?
Yes.
Sure. Then Yuta's stronger or than a nerfed Sukuna. There. That nerfed Sukuna just happens to have 15 fingers. That's all.
Fine.
Like I'm not slandering full power, calamity, king of curses, Ryomen Sukuna. I'm saying, yeah, when he's weakened, yeah, he's probably weaker than Yuta. And Akari's stronger than Yuta, as far as we know. And yeah.
But are you really okay? I have to know. Are you implying that 15 finger Sukuna is just so he's just weaker to you? Like really, what is that 5 finger difference to you? Like honestly, like what is the
I
like?
think 5 fingers is a massive fucking difference.
Oh my
Um,
god.
because I'll put it like this, right? The difference between Jogo, like, okay, so Jogo thought, hey, I'm 9 finger Sukuna level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gojo at this point is about 15 fingers Sukuna level. So instead of a 5 finger, it's a 6 finger difference, right? But it's pretty close. Do you know how embarrassed, like, Jogo at 9 fingers, should be relative to Sukuna at 9 fingers, at least in his own thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by Kenjaku's assessment, right?
Right.
Do you know how insanely bad Jogo got done there? Like he did not hit Sukuna. He got one shot several times. Not one shot. saying one shot several times is such a weird statement. He got like cleaved in multiple parts several times. Like that is what a 5 to 6 finger difference does. So I don't know if it's like saying, hey, he doesn't have a fourth of his power, right? He has 25% of his power just
Only.
missing. I don't know. I think that's a pretty big that's a pretty insane thing.
All right. I gotta go pee real quick. So you gotta hold chat down, and also chat.
Right.
Make sure to smash like because I want to get 100 likes. Because you know how we move here at the Honored Ones podcast. We like symmetry.
For sure.
We are Death the Kid around here. That's a Soul Eater reference because I just finished up the first Perfect Edition volume, which I'm really psyched about. So yeah, perfect symmetry. All right.
All right,
All
back
right.
to that.
Hold.
Cool. Let's look.
I believe in you, BR. Try not to use this platform for evil.
I will definitely use it for evil. Anyway, Chet. I'll wait till he's gone. Is he gone? Yeah, he's gone. Maybe listening, but like he's low key gone. All right, Chet. If y'all can do me a favor, um, just when he gets back, when he like mics up again, I need y'all to spam Kashimo greater than Sukuna. You don't even have to believe it. That's fine. Just do it for the meme. Just a little favor from me to you. Know what I'm saying? But anyways, also yeah, hit the like button so we get to 100. Broken Running is a Yuta simp. I have Kashimo and Hakari over him right now, so I don't know. Um, do you think Kashimo's sure hit technique was aimed at Hikari's head? Yeah, I do think so. I was mentioning that Tessera earlier in DMs, but I do think yes. I think his so I think that like when the narrator calls it like a sure hit, I do think that's somewhat of an exaggeration. I think it's a sure hit in the sense that like for most characters, it is impossible to dodge anyway. So it's like virtually the same thing as not being able to miss. Does that make sense? Like let me see if I can. I think it should be 3 chapters ago where that statement is made. Um, because I think like it's sort of similar to how I think Yuta's curse energy stated to be boundless, but he can run out because boundless can just mean a lot. I genuinely don't think that like it is impossible for it to miss, and the reason is because we've seen we saw Hakari, at least we can assume based on how it's displayed in the manga, avoid the brunt of the attack, right? Like it seemed to be aiming for his head. Um like to me, the interpretation I get is like it's the speed of lightning, right? And because it's the speed of lightning, it is basically impossible to dodge for 95% of the cast, right? But we see I can't pull it up for you guys, but if you guys check the chapters yourself, you see that like Hakari, his face is like right in front of that bolt of lightning, but then it hits his arm. So either it was just, like that panel is just there for like sort of like a cinematic like dynamic effect to show how close it is to him, or it's an implication that it can miss under certain circumstances. Um, but yeah, we have zero speed feat for Sukuna to say he blitzes. Oh yeah, 100%. A lot of people. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with like Sukuna versus like Yuta or anybody like that, right? If you don't want to admit Sukuna's stronger, if you don't want to concede that or like argue that, right? That's cool. That's fine. The only issue is there's not any really good evidence to the contrary. We only have arguments for Yuta above Sukuna and not vice versa. Um, so like once again, there's nothing there literally is nothing wrong with you not wanting to say Yuta is above Sukuna. Just keep in mind, like if we're talking about like actual scaling, you really only have arguments for Yuta. You don't really have them for Sukuna yet. Now, that does not inherent like an absence of evidence does not mean it's evidence of absence, right? That does not mean it is impossible to say Sukuna is stronger. Just based on argumentation, you don't really have a good reason, right? You could say Mimiko and Nanako thought Sukuna could kill Kenjaku. Yeah, for sure. Yuta thinks he can kill Kenjaku as well, though. So that's not a very great metric. Nanako and Mimiko, though, like you can even say they're unreliable because they also thought that like that hiding one finger from him would allow him to like work for them. So you can just say they're unreliable narrators. Um, Uro said he was reaching his limit and ran from Sukuna. That can be 20 finger Sukuna. In fact, it's more likely that it is because if you guys remember, that Sukuna not only has a weapon we've never seen him have, if I'm remembering correctly, yeah, he has a weapon we've never seen him have. He doesn't look like Yuji all that much, and he has his 4 limbs. So, um, Sukuna's domain is stronger. Sure, but Yuji's seen that domain expansion and still concludes that Yuta can beat him. So like, the domain can be more refined, but there's still some special context in which Yuta wins. So it's fine. Um, you can also just say, if you wanted to argue what Yuji's saying, is Yuta would simply kill Sukuna before a domain gets pulled out. Because like, just because someone has a domain expansion does not mean every fight necessitates that they will be able to use it, right? We're just gonna ignore the fact that Yuta's been stated to be second to Gojo. That ain't said about Hakari. You're misquoting that completely. Like, continuous, like as if I were in a real debate, but no, you. There's a lot of context where that statement does not have to apply to Hakari at all. So Yuji is unreliable. He thought he himself could take Two Finger Sukuna. No. If you're referring to a Yuji that doesn't even understand cursed energy at that point, sure. I would just argue Yuji's just simply become a much more analytical and intelligent combatant. So I would just say the Yuji of the beginning of the series, like you would have to either be stupid or you'd have to be ratty to say they're the same in terms of like power assessment. Let's see. Couldn't Yuta have a simple domain? That's also possible. What do you think of the outcome of this fight will be plot-wise? Kashimo finding out Yuji location or Kashimo killing Hakari or Panda? So I think that leaves out the possibility of Hakari winning. But like, if it's between those two, I think it would be holy shit. All right, chat, do your thing.
Yo, I just had the best piss, dude. I mean, it was euphoric. I mean, stream was on point. Color was fine. Just general good vibes, right? So, like, honestly, 9 out of 10p. Thanks for asking.
Nice. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But I'm back, chat. How are all of you? Oh, what the fuck? Yo.
Chat fucking agrees. Look at chat. Look at chat. Look at chat, bro. See, chat really is on the Kashimo wave, and you love to see it.
All of you are banned. Every single one of you.
You love to see it, man. You love to see it, chat.
Yo, speaking of, I'm curious how many of you are subscribed? Just like, this isn't like a YouTuber, like, I see like 20% of you aren't subscribed. No, I mean, I'm genuinely curious, because I feel like, I had this live stream on my channel like 6 months ago, where some guy was like, dude, who are you? And I was like, who are you? Why are you here? And he was like, oh, I just got recommended you because of like what you were talking about. And I was like, is that a thing? YouTube actually pushes out live streams? That's kind of wild. Yeah. So I'm curious, like, where y'all are coming from.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. I gotta take a piss.
Hey, yo, tag out. Let's go. Kashimo greater than Sukuna? No. Kashimo low diffs? Okay. No. Just because, yes, dude, thank you to whoever just said, oh, I'll find your name in chat right now. Dude, I gotta thank you by name. Where you at? The higher-ups hating Hakari's ability makes a lot of sense. Hakari is kicking ass on his own. Dude, yes! That's one of the things I tweeted, right? I said, one of the coolest things about Hakari is the fact that if I was a Jujutsu higher-up, I would hate this man's guts, bro. I would hate this dude to the max. Absolutely disgusted by him, right? Because not only is his curse technique weird as shit, he is way too broken. He is way too, like, kind of flamboyant for the natural order of how I would see Jujutsu. But, like, him as a person with the weird cursed energy and everything, just everything about Hakari is just wrong, right? And I absolutely love Hakari for that. Let's be blunt here, right? But if I was a Jujutsu higher up, conservative, hate him. Hate his guts, bro. Can you time them out? I think, guys, honestly, stop spamming. It was fun for a bit, but we don't want to, like, flood up chat from having serious discourse. Yuta, for real, Sukuna stomps Yuta, Ronin trippet. Thank you, Verma. Thank you. He's unconventional. Dude, yes. Listen. Hakari and Kirara have some weird-ass techniques, all right? Let's just be blunt here. crazy techniques that don't make sense. That, well, okay, they do make sense, but they're just absolutely tripping. I think I read in an interview, Gege once said that jujutsu higher ups, like their ideal cursed technique is Nobara's because of just how straightforward it is and how weirdly conservative it is. And I think what they mean by that is that, one, it's easy to understand. B, it doesn't involve any kind of weird fusion with technology like ironically, the head of the conservatives, biggest hypocrite ever, by the way, who has a guitar amp curse technique, is like, dude, we don't want any weird techniques here, as if he's not literally an amp, dude. So, I think that also plays into it, just the fact that this guy is. Not even this guy, but like the entire conservative faction just seems to only want simplistic techniques that are, honestly speaking, fucking boring. Like Nobara's technique is great, right? And she definitely upgraded it with the interpretation of her technique affecting the soul as well. But something like any of the Zenin clan's techniques that aren't Megumi's or the projection sorcery ones are just so fucking boring. Like, wasn't Maki and Mai's father just like fire sword technique or some dumb generic shit like that? Like, dude, it was just on generic Yamato energy, but just like weaker. Hakari is like Yaga. Their abilities are just too complex or complicated for the higher ups. Yaga's technique, weirdly, has always been to me a very traditional like jujutsu sorcery technique because it's very much imbuing a thing with a soul. It's like if one of Nobara's straw dolls had a soul in it. It's just it's whatever. Kashimo is better than Sukuna. Y'all are. Can we get a okay? Whatever. I honestly think that Hakari punched the higher up because they said something about the way Kirara dresses or something. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Hakari. I don't think they'd need to do something like so egregious to get under his skin. I think he has a very short fuse when it comes to people of the conservative birds, conservative variety. Sukuna hasn't beaten opponents so far. Dude, he beat Maharaga, like what, and Jogo, who are, by the way, not pushovers. Yaga wears Buddhist robe on the exterior, punk rocker under the robe, a foreshadowing of what he will do later in the series. I think you mean Gakuganji, not Yaga. I think the implications are rather that he would do this curse technique, Yaga. I think it's canon that he fought a higher up. Yeah, no. I'm saying it is canon, right? It's very like clearly canon, but I'm just saying, the higher ups didn't have to do something as dramatic as like, oh, Kirara is banned because their curse technique is weird and we don't like them as a person, yada, yada, yada. I think it could just be like, hey, Hakari, we don't like that you dyed your hair or something, right? Like, I don't think it would take a lot for Hakari to just kind of explode in some kind of anger, because the guy is all about the passion, and whoever stifles the fever has to pay. That's just my take. Do you think current Yuji beats Maharaga? Damn, chat is going by so fast. Yuji beat Hanami 1v1? Yeah. Current Yuji would absolutely destroy Hanami. Maharaga solo Yuta plus Rika. No kidding. Base. Yuta can't handle Ryu. Forget about Suguna. Remind me who Ryu is? Jogo not beating Yuta. What? What? Who said that? Maharaga probably got the most contentious scaling out of any character so far because of the nature of his technique. Dude, yes. BR's take is that Maharaga, when he's first like unleashed from his Pokeball, is like 7 or 8 finger Sukuna level, like Jogo level, around that area. And after he adapts, he increases steadily in Sukuna finger amounts. And I don't mind that interpretation of Maharaga, but for me, I'm under the impression that base Maharaga does take stuff into account before he, engages you in combat. Like, people forget the first thing Maharaga did was strike Sukuna with positive cursed energy because it thought that he was a cursed spirit, and it was like, oh, I'll just slice you right now. Realized he was human, instantly switched to negative cursed energy. So it's very, like, you got to give Maharaga some tactical credit here, because it wouldn't just like fire off the same way for every single opponent at base. And even still, if somebody were to overcome it, like, I think somebody like Kashimo with the lightning bolt thing, that works once, right? It works once. It's Kashima's like go-to, and if they can't use it against Maharaga, then sorry, you're dead. Like Maharaga would absolutely demolish Kashimo, and I don't think there's any question about it. Jogo couldn't take physical hits from Sukuna, but Mahoraga was almost unfazed when Sukuna hit him. This also has to go with this thing Gege said, where he said Jogo would absolutely destroy Hanami, but if Jogo were to take the amount of black flashes that Hanami took from Yuji and Toto in that fight, then he would have died. And I think it has to go with like you guys know in Pokemon there's like elemental advantages, type advantages, all this stuff. I think the fact that fire beats tree is just kind of inherently why Jogo would be like a natural predator to Hanami. I think it's a really cool way to do that, because it's not just, ooh, I got more cursed energy than you. It's not like Reiatsu and Bleach, where it's like if you don't have enough of it, your attacks can't even affect the other person. I think very much natural aspects of it do make for way more engaging fights. Naoya might actually be faster. So I think Naoya and Nobito are very much the fastest characters in JJK, barring any kind of crazy fuck, I actually don't know, because okay, I had this argument with BR a while ago, and I think he said that,
what argument?
Oh, do you about the speed argument, about like, are Nobito and Naoya actually the fastest, or do you consider like Maki, Toji to be faster because they could keep up, or do you think Gojo with the cursed energy buff is faster, shit like that? And I was like, I think they probably are the fastest like normal sorcerers, but if you were to get into like anybody who's special grade level or who can give themselves that boost, then they're just like, you know, above average by comparison.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, the statement might even, who knows? It might actually might mean that Naobito's faster than Yuta, because considering he was a sorcerer at the time.
Yeah, and
Which might be an interesting way to like downplay him if you wanted to.
I know, but like also it's, when you say a character has a particular feat advantage over another that isn't like strength, you can get into you get dangerously close to, oh, they're stronger. You know what I mean? So it's why I'm not equating speed to any kind of power advantage. Also, Siren, so you got to take the wheel here.
I mean, I guess we disagree on this, but I think speed is a huge thing in versus battles like this. Like, I feel like you can win a battle with like speed and whack AP. The type of battles you can't win with like strength and whack speed. That's just how I feel about it, though. Like, unless you have like this passive hacks that like attacks your opponent and bypasses their ability or something, you're kind of getting cooked if you're only stronger and like you're just like ridiculously weaker. But there are plenty of hacks you can have that are like that, if you, as long as you can make contact with them, they can just bypass their ability. Like if Mahito, for example, had like no AP feats, but he was just faster than most of the verse, it wouldn't matter what his AP is, because he has a certain hacks that like bypass.
Yeah, but that's
so
that's
I'm
a
kind of
hack's ability, right? It's like inherently special, right?
sure,
Speed is just like a thing
but I'm
everybody
saying
has, right? And it's
what I'm saying though is speed is like, that's the component that makes the hacks useful. If he's slower, the hacks doesn't do anything. It's no longer useful in that same context. Like if you put Mahito up against anybody who he can't touch, Idle Transfiguration is damn near useless. At least specifically when used like that.
yeah, but you
The hack
also
becomes null and void.
but you also have to take in, like, you have to take the full picture into account. It doesn't just stop there. You have to be able to, you know, counterattack Mahito, because if you can't beat him, right, then you're kind of in
And
this
if you're
weird
faster,
game of
then
tag for seemingly forever.
I think you're like I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is speed, I think, is more important than AP in something like JJK. Like, I don't think strength is really that. I don't think it needs to be that important for a lot of fights, considering like curse techniques and all that different stuff. I'm saying, because we've had this discussion before, and you said speed isn't all that important. I really disagree. I think it's.
I never said it wasn't
I'd
like
probably.
important. I just think it's not the make or break that you put it as, because speed requires stamina, and if you don't have a lot of it, like eventually speed will run out. You know what I mean?
The same way AP does, though. Like that applies to every stat. Like, and there's not a single stat where that doesn't apply.
Okay.
So I
I
mean,
think it.
to apply that to speed in particular, I think is weird.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this, right? If somebody is particularly known for their speed feats, right, it means most of their MP meter is going towards that feat being used up, right? Like same with somebody like Hakari using it to, I don't know, use his fucking domain or some shit like that, right? my whole thing is at some point you hit this wall, depending on the opponent, and you're like, oh, okay, my speed is not enough to overcome their power, defense, whatever. Right? I may be faster than them, but I can't do anything.
Sure. I mean, you can do the like I'm saying like sure, that is the case, right? But you can make that case for anything. Like you can make the like for any of the stats, right? Strength. Yeah, my strength can one shot them, but I can't even get anywhere near them, so it doesn't matter. Oh, my hacks is powerful, but my hacks can't land on them, so it doesn't work, right? All I'm saying
Yeah.
is I think speed in those like works in more combinations than strength does. I think hacks is probably the most dominant one out of the three, though. Like if I had to break it up into those.
Oh no,
Um,
100%. Like Gojo's hacks are literally why he's the strongest. Like, it's not. No, nobody's going around saying Gojo's like a monster because he punched real hard.
I mean, low key. You remove Gojo's like infinity, he's still soloing like a lot of the JJK verse.
I mean, I
But
don't disagree with you, but I'm saying like in universe, right? That's not the reason. You know what I mean?
yeah.
On the laundry list of why Gojo is a terrifying character, his general physical amps are very much bottom of the list.
Whoa, what's a I guess like the only two things I think make him that scary are his hacks and his ability to beat your ass without his hacks.
Yeah,
Like
but also the fact that his hacks are very like to call the entirety of Gojo Satoru's abilities hacks into that one category is accurate, but also very misleading in that when you like delve deeper into it, like what are his hacks, and it's like, oh, here's an entire laundry list of everything that Gojo can do and why
the
he's
ones
an
that are relevant though are infinite stamina and you can't touch him. Like everything else is kind of like
oh
stuff
no, and
that
he
can
can
be
he
replaced
can
with
keep
most stuff.
spamming domains. He can keep spamming purple,
Well,
blue,
that's
red.
that's infinite stamina. Like spamming
No,
those
but
attacks is
those
just
are
infinite stamina.
no, but
That's
all
just a
those attacks
byproduct of
have different
infinite stamina.
effects as well, right? Because they each
Blue attracts, but it does like damage like normal attacks
yeah,
do.
and
Red is just a blast of
repels.
cursed
Yes.
energy that's pretty strong.
So
Purple, sure, but like even that doesn't like even that is just like a combination of the two that's really strong. But like that does not like it's not really shown to have these insane properties that like because like if Hanami can survive it, right? Um, whatever. Like I'm not saying oh it's weak. I'm just saying I don't think red, blue, or purple are like or as great assets as
I think purple
like his
definitely
ability.
is. Like purple is
I don't know.
definitely the game changer. Because sure you can say, oh yeah, Hanami survived it, but Gojo was kind of fucking around. He shouldn't have been, but he kind of was. He was doing it A from a distance, B through the woods, and C. Purple moves weirdly slow, like hilariously slow. Like red and blue are kind of like instantaneous. Like the effects are super quick, right? But when it
I
comes to
wouldn't say it
purple,
moves slow though. Like
I mean, okay,
Toji got hit with purple, right?
yeah,
Like
but Hanami had like a while. Also, sorry. Also, the purple that that hit Hanami was way bigger than the one that hit Toji
um
because it seems to be different
maybe
sizes.
maybe if you look in the maybe if you use the anime, sure. Because
But
the anime like
the area
blows
of
that shit up.
the area of
But
damage for Toji was like his torso, and like it didn't go like down his leg and everything. Like it was kind of contained to that spot. But for Hanami, who is also bigger than Toji, the fact that it obliterated. Okay, yes, this is gonna be an anime thing, real quick, if you guys don't mind. But
mhm.
indulge me for a second here, right? In the anime, it's shown that like Gojo's purple affected the ground as well. It like split the earth open. So I definitely think
Sure.
maybe there was like some resistance, like not resistance, but like the speed took a hit because of size and maybe friction just from hitting everything else leading up to Hanami. So it gave Hanami to put on that armor thing, the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of my theory about the, the complexities of Gojo's purple.
Purple Loki might be trash if like Hanami can like react and like properly defend it. Not properly because he's still got a lot of damage, but like if he can put up a defense that he thinks is proper against it, Purple Loki might just be a stronger maximum meteor that has the same drawbacks of like,
Do you
cool,
think?
that could probably kill me,
Okay,
but I'll just
so
dodge.
you know how curse techniques are also like the effects they have are also based on how the user interprets their own techniques.
To some extent, yeah.
Yeah, so like Nobra's technique affecting the soul, for example, because that's
Hmm.
just how she interprets it. Um, I'm wondering if Gojo interprets purple to be all encompassing of it erases everything from reality that it touches. Do you think all of reality, as far as Gojo interprets it, means including cursed energy? So if you were to just say get hit point blank with like a fast purple, like Toji did, and but you still had like you unlike Toji, you actually have like cursed energy to like use for defensive purposes. It wouldn't matter because it all kind of falls under the umbrella of what Gojo interprets as reality, meaning there
I
is no
mean,
defense to it.
maybe, but he can't even destroy, like, purple doesn't even destroy everything it comes in contact to, like, now, like with what we have seen.
What do you mean?
Um,
I think it just
so
ends
like,
after a while, but I think whatever it passes through like is fully
well,
gone.
the reason I say that, right, is because when we look at what happened to like Hanami after, right? When Hanami comes and like goes to their little like cursed spirit hideout thing,
Right?
we see that most of his like outer shell is destroyed, but he has like this rib cage that should have been exposed to the blast because everything around it was destroyed, right? I'll
Right?
send it to you. The rib cage seems to be intact. Like in my opinion, if it was like an all-encompassing reality or like a existence erasure type thing, the like he should just have a very clean cut, carved out hole in his body, but he doesn't.
Let
Right?
me.
There's still his ribs there, like after, even though they should have been exposed, like I said.
I mean, you could make the argument that like it's just the angle, like because
I don't know what angle you would have to hit for it to be like that though, because like what I'm saying is like if Hanami gets hit kind of like straight on, it should have passed through everything, and there should be like nothing, no body part left,
oh,
right?
like Hello
Um,
says, well, curses can regenerate. Maybe this was him trying to recover some of it, right? And also, you have to take into account like whatever resistance, that barrier, that wooden barrier cocoon thing that Hanami enveloped himself in, also did to maybe throw off the trajectory in some case, or give him some kind of like position
well,
hack.
sure, that's my point though. If it can be resisted, it's not an erasure of things it comes into contact to. Not truly, at least, is basically what I'm saying.
I mean,
Um,
resistance insofar as like it.
unless you like, and unless you want to argue like, okay, Hanami has um, like a particular resistance to like existence erasure,
Mhm.
which is technically possible, but I don't think Gojo's purple has shown traits that like truly that would truly lead me to believe like, oh, it actually just like it sort of bypasses the durability of what it comes into contact with, right?
Mm,
Whereas certain existence erasure attacks in fiction do. Um,
maybe I think it might have to do with the fact that like purple might be sloppy. Like, okay, is purple a blast, a sphere? Like what is it? Like what does it look like? Because red is a beam essentially, right? And blue kind of
yeah,
looks like a gap in space. So I guess a
yeah.
circle. So is purple like a giant ball? Like how do you see it?
I mean, that's what the anime portrays it as.
What is your interpretation?
It's probably I imagine it to be like this kind of like almost like a weaker black hole kind of like or something with the properties of a black hole and like an orb that he just shoots out at his opponent really quickly. Um that's how I perceive it. And it like anything it comes in contact with like up to a certain durability simply just ceases to exist. But I do think that like you probably like you could probably have enough durability in the series to not die from it. That's what I'd imagine because I don't think it has true existence erasure properties. Is basically what I'm saying.
Mm,
Like even though yeah, it's stated to do that, right? I'm just saying I think it's shown things to the contrary. And to speak to like the Hanami regenerating feat, um, I don't really know what would imply that he's regenerated this quickly because we've seen that like with extensive damage like that, like for example when Joker gets his head removed, right? They don't start the healing process like really at all for a certain while, right? Like Jogo doesn't show any sprouts from his neck, anything like that that implies he started regenning. I don't think Hanami would have either, considering how weak he is. I think that process would take much longer than like directly after getting hit by the attack. Because
Mm.
if it wasn't, if he could regen immediately after, would purple really be that dangerous to curse spirits?
I mean, I'm assuming the real danger is getting enveloped in it, right? Like the only reason it was not the only reason probably, but like the big reason it had that effect on Toji of, instant death was because he didn't have any cursed energy. So for him it was just getting his fucking like torso blown off.
Sure, yeah. Um,
Also,
let's
I've been
see.
thinking, how does Geto, and by extension Kenjaku's body, whatever, how does he run out of cursed energy? Like honestly speaking, is it like summoning and then maintaining the cursed energy, the cursed spirits he absorbs? Because it seems like they're just using their own cursed energy after he summons them, you know. So it seems like what is he using his cursed energy for if not only to consume and maybe
I mean, to
Uzumaki?
summon them and to decide what they do, probably.
But that seems like such a low like payment thing, you know. Like it seems like it's something that wouldn't necessarily take up a lot of his cursed energy. Like
Maybe with a few curses, but this is Geto who summoned 2,000 cursed spirits
yeah,
in
like
two separate places in Japan, and then was like, "I'm gonna then fight the Queen of Curses." I think it's very possible to say it's an ability that because it favors using numbers, it probably only suffers when you use tons of numbers. 'Cause I don't think we've ever seen Geto get tired like
yeah,
that
that's
either.
that's kind of why I'm coming at this. That's why I was thinking about it. I was like, I've never seen Geto or even Kinchaku like lose stamina. The only time that I think an ability would drain them is Uzumaki or whipping out like all of their sorry, not all of, but like summoning all their demons remaining and fighting physically. But in out of those three, right, fighting physically kind of seems to be the thing that takes up the most energy.
I see
So
that being the case.
yeah,
Yeah, it probably depend. Yeah, it's sort of like he pulls them out, he puppeteers them, but like puppeteering thousands of curses probably just takes a massive drain. That's what I'd imagine. The reason I say it probably is like a pretty sizable difference is because Kenjaku seems to think, yeah, you have all your curses right gathered at once, you don't lose to Yuta. Whereas before, like without all those curses gathered, right, Yuta didn't take any damage from that blast, and Geto got ripped in half almost, right?
yeah.
It was
But
almost completely in Yuta's favor.
I
But what he's
mean,
saying is, with all of your curses, you not only like just more even with Yuta, you just outright win. Like you just win that battle,
no,
which is like a complete overturn.
no, X-Men. I'm not saying Geto was never special grade or that he didn't deserve it, and Kenjaku was definitely like crazy special grade. I'm just saying it. I find it interesting that nobody talks as much about because we all know Gojo's hacks is like, oh, he has infinite cursed energy, yada yada yada. But like with Geto, I'm like, it seems to me that there's no beating this guy unless you're literally built different. Okay,
Geto.
yeah, and by extent, and even worse for Kenjaku. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm curious why you think Kenjaku is so much stronger than Geto, but that's something we can discuss in a minute.
I think I've discussed it with you. I told you before. Cursed
Maybe.
energy, explosive like things are based in knowledge, deeper understanding of cursed energy, and general sense of individuality. And Kenjaku has all three. And by extension, with a vessel like Geto's, it means Geto has that amp. So it just means he's a more capable person. And with Idle Transfiguration, he also has like and sorry, Idle Transfiguration post Mahito's awakening, right? So like
Sure. Yeah, Idle
he's
Transfiguration is a
yeah,
good point. I think everything else is kind of weird though because you can very easily argue
dude.
any of those like amps are offset by him losing 6,000 cursed spirits,
No,
which
I definitely don't because you also have to
I don't know
consider
how you'd
that Kenjaku was
quantify.
like over 1,000 years old, right? Like I'd
So
say
what?
the most dangerous part
Like,
about like ancient sorcerers, Sukuna included, is that they are by far the most knowledgeable on how cursed energy actually works. Like nobody's like, oh yeah, Tengen's so fucking dangerous because he can like low diff the verse. They're like, no, Tengen is a fucking is insane because he has 1,000 years worth of experience being a cursed energy user. So
Tengen's dangerous because he's really good at barriers. He's not dangerous for any other reason.
I mean, as far as you know, dot dot
As
dot.
well as far as stated. Um,
But
And Kenjaku, like, I don't know how we'd quantify the amp he gets from like being smarter,
I'll put it to you
because
this
we
way,
don't.
right? Yuji having a deeper understanding of cursed energy visually translates to him learning Black Flash, right? So there's Yuji before learning Black Flash and after learning Black Flash, and despite those two versions of Yuji being only separated by like 2 hours, uh, Black Flash Yuji was literally like ascended to another level. Like Gojo himself stated, "Oh yeah, he's on another level."
Sure, but
So a
what
deeper
you
understanding
then
of
see,
cursed energy is a big factor, and I just think Kenjaku understood it more than Geto, just based off
the,
experience.
the issue with that though is, um once Yuji understands cursed energy again, or like not understands it again, but like gains another understanding and like masters it further, the amp he gets versus Choso is not shown to be like substantial, um compared to his base form by any means.
Okay,
Um
third time. After Mahito's awakening, Yuji was like, "Oh yeah, I'll combine Divergent Fist with Black Flash." That was another one that put him over the
I mean,
edge and
he
made
doesn't
him.
combine. I don't think he gets. I don't think
He com-
that's an awakening of cursed energy. Like, he's just
I
using things he's already had,
Yeah,
because he already knew.
that's literally a mental thing. Like that is a mental that's
No,
mental development right there.
what I'm saying, right, is that he didn't gain any abilities, right? He did not gain any power either. All he did is he used Divergent Fist to keep Mahito from cutting his head off, and then uses a Black Flash. I don't think either of those things are developed any further than they were before, because we already know that, in chapter like in the Mahito fight, it says that you do learn how to use Divergent Fist at will, in the Choso fight, right?
Hmm.
So he already had that, and he did that versus Choso when Choso's like,
But
"What the hell is this double
combining it with
impact?"
like that fight with Mahito was the culmination of everything Yuji had learned up until that point.
Sure, but I'm saying I don't think he got an amp from that. I'm saying I don't think he got any stronger.
I think he did because Mahito got visibly stronger, right? And when Yuji seemed to be completely at a loss, and without Toto backing him up, by the way, he still ultimately beat Mahito in the end because of his quick wits, and yes, Toto helping him out with that fake out thing. But fundamentally, right, if Yuji wasn't much stronger and he hadn't made further strides since the fight with Chozo, he wouldn't have even like that punch on Mahito wouldn't have done shit.
I think there are a couple of issues, because we know that this Mahito, we know that this Mahito is like weakened or getting weaker throughout the entirety of the fight because of the Black Flash that Toto helps him use, before he transforms. You know that, I guess I can send it to you in a bit, once I find it, but there's this like additional page or whatever, like in the volumes, where Gig is just like, he's explaining Mahito's new form, 200% stronger, blah blah blah, right? He
Mm-hmm.
says if it wasn't for that last Black Flash, that Toto, like the last Black Flash he hits on Mahito before Mahito actually transforms, he just says Yuji would have died. So I mean,
Uh, uh,
he has Mahito weakening over time
uh,
while he is.
okay, let me ask you
So,
this, right? What is an awakening in JJK? How do you, like what is it? What is an awakening? How do you define it?
getting massively stronger than you were before.
Through what means?
Either better interpretation of your technique, more cursed energy, and those are basically it. Or like, I guess, a better understanding of cursed energy.
Yes, and
Um,
like 2 out of 3 of those are knowledge based, right? So what I ask you, right, is the difference between Gojo being like Teen Gojo, Knife Throat, and then post, Honored One, our namesake, BR, our fucking namesake.
sure.
The difference in that period of time was he literally just understood cursed energy more, and he was like, "Oh my god, I'm that guy, bro." And that was like
Correct.
the only thing that
But
changed.
the issue is we can't just assume some character gets awakened because they've been alive a long time. Like, that's just a massive leap, because some people have gotten awakened and got much
It's a
stronger. Therefore,
strong
Kenjaku
okay.
has gotten awakened and
It's
much stronger.
but
Like, I don't think those two things correlate very well.
I don't think okay. I think it's kind of not disingenuous, but like the implication you're giving me is that Kenjaku's 1,000 year plus incursion, insane studies. He's literally stated to be like the second best barrier user after Tengen, right? And that's not even like his specialty. Excuse me. And the fact that like his whole plan revolves around wanting to see the furthest potential of what humans can evolve to with cursed energy, yada yada yada, right? All of these things
Sure,
are not.
because he can't reach that himself.
Yeah, right.
That's like the
But
whole point.
the whole point is that he's essentially a scientist in that sense, right? Like he is very much looking for he's experimenting, and you don't experiment without some kind of foundational knowledge that is more than anybody else's. Like when he was Noritoshi Keimo, right? He created the cursed womb people. Like it was a thing he was actively committed to. It's his craft. You don't say, oh, a chemist doesn't know anything about how fucking bleach works or some shit like that.
No, let me put it like this. The difference between Gojo and Kenjaku is a fight analyst. Gojo is a one-of-a-kind prodigy fighter, right? I think those are
No,
pretty
well,
analogous.
I think no, but I
Even
think
if you say this,
Kenjaku's
right?
a scientist, bro. Like he's not necessarily
That's
like
what no, I'm comparing it to like I'm comparing it to fighting because it's just gonna get the best analogy, right?
okay.
So Kenjaku is an amazing fight analyst, right? He's been analyzing UFC fighters for decades, right? He's been watching the game of fighting basically since it started, right? However, Gojo comes on the scene, right? He's much younger. He's a newbie, right? But he's a one of a kind potential that after his first loss just becomes the best fighter in history, right?
Okay.
Just because Kenjaku is smarter, maybe with fighting, he has more experience. That does not translate to he himself being able to produce similar results or greater results than Gojo, right? And the reason I say this is like pretty solid is your argument is kind of predicated on okay, strength in JJK mostly comes from hacks and it mostly comes from knowledge, right?
Okay.
Kenjaku is after thousands of years of switching bodies of all these different things, all these different schemes, right? Not only has he had trouble putting down six eyes users in the past, he just admits Gojo is too strong for him to like fight in it. Like now, if you want to say sure, Kenjaku can be stronger than Geto in the sense that like you give him prep time, you give him pawns to play with. Sure, he's probably a better strategist and he'll come out with a better outcome. But I'm talking about like their strength themselves with their own abilities, right?
Okay.
Kenjaku does not have anything that implies he has awakened anything that Geto could not, right? Or that like basically what I'm getting at, right, is just because you've done something or practiced something or been a part like of studying something for a very long time, does that mean you yourself can or even have achieved it, right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I see what you mean, but my counter argument would be the fact that sorry, thing going by. If any of you hear that in the background, I just want you to know if you're one of these people, I hope you never touch a woman ever again. I wish you nothing but the worst. And that's what I just want to say quickly about that. Fix your engines, people. Or don't ride motorcycles. Those are my hot takes here. Anyway, sorry, a little bit of bitterness, but we move. What I was trying to say is, I understand what you're coming from, but my rebuttal is, Kenjaku only feels that way about Gojo specifically. He doesn't feel that way about Yuta. He has no respect for Yuta, famously. He doesn't feel that way about Hakari. He doesn't feel that way about Yuki. No other special grade or crazy, sorcerer or whatever gets on his radar as much as Gojo. Now, I never said Kenjaku greater than symbol Gojo, right? Because that's an insane comment, right? But
the issue is,
I'm saying
if you're saying he has more time to awaken, and he like therefore that means he mastered cursed energy more than like certain characters. That falls apart when you have a character centuries younger that mastered cursed energy to a greater extent and like has better interpretation, has shown more like hacks even that aren't reliant on his innate technique, right? Because Kenjaku's never shown like. I'm not saying he doesn't have one, but he's never shown a domain and he's never shown a reverse curse technique, right? Once again, not saying it's impossible for him to have one, just saying he hasn't displayed one, which we're obviously arguing over that. But so like if Gojo is shown too much difficulty, strength, power, all these different abilities, experience with cursed energy, right? And he's Gojo's 30 in comparison to Kenjaku's 1000. Sure. What I'm basically saying is we can't use age as a metric to mean, oh, this character, by nature of being older, has achieved more with their cursed energy. Because, like, for example, Reggie's been alive for 400 years, right?
Okay.
We don't argue that he's awakened more because he's been
Dude, this is spiteful. Did they hear what I said? Is it one of you? You actual
shit, bro.
Dude.
Personally, if you talk to me like that, I have to ride back. I'd have to sit still and just rev my engine
There is
personally.
no fucking dude. Actual psychopath energy right now. How they're doing fucking donuts. That is the only explanation for this. It's not even a parking lot. This is a fucking. This is essentially a highway.
Yep, yep, yep.
Dude, by the way, to anybody who's curious, this is what we cut out of our normal like or past record, just purely recorded episodes. Just this shit over and over and over again.
Yep. But anyways,
Yeah.
basically, what I was getting at, right, is there are plenty of Ishigori and Uro are older than Yuta, right? We don't just assume they have a better understanding of curse energy by nature of them being older, right? Reggie, older than Megumi. We don't say he has a higher understanding just because he's older, right? And people are saying Gojo's the exception to the rule. Well, two things, right? One, if there's an exception to the rule, you need to give a justification as to why, like, oh, your character avoids that, right? And two, I'm giving examples that aren't relying on Gojo. Megumi displays more skill feats and impressive showings than Reggie, an older sorcerer,
But okay,
right?
my issue with this is that you have to take into account like what kind of people they are. Reggie is not this is not a scientist, bro. He is not literally coming at
Sure, but
his cursed
okay.
energy as an entire field to study. And
But do you think a sports scientist should be able to produce similar results
why
to an
why do you
actual
keep
athlete
okay?
themselves?
That's I think my issue is that I don't see what Kenjaku does as like being related to sports or fighting specifically. He is like concerned with the nature of it. He's not, trying to find the best way to like improve his fucking hands. He's trying to find the next
That's
stage of evolution, bro.
literally
Like,
exactly what he's doing is trying to create something that surpasses himself, right? Like he is literally trying to make a like he's trying to see the pinnacle of sorcery, right? Like it's
yes,
like
but the
wrong
pinnacle
to
of
say that
sorcery
he isn't
doesn't
doing
have
that.
to be combative. That's my whole point. Because the pinnacle of sorcery is basically just Gojo or Sukuna, right? Like he's already like
Who are inherently like combative characters? Like
yeah.
what are we
But
talking
but
about?
but you're talking about like they're fighting. I'm talking about like sorry, I have an itch. I'm talking about like Gojo, not Gojo. Kenjaku's goals are to see the next stage of human evolution, or see like what the full potential of like cursed energy is. Right. That doesn't necessarily have to mean like from a combat perspective. For all you know, Kenjaku wants to see if somebody can find enlightenment. Right. You don't know what the actual like specific reasons he's doing this are. You don't know
But
like
Gojo and Sukuna both found enlightenment, though. Well,
yeah.
okay, so listen, if you make that argument, right? If you make the argument that what Kenjaku is seeking for is not necessarily strength, then you still have no reason to say he's stronger because that might not be what he's seeking, right? So that still falls back on sure Kenjaku can be smarter, and once again, I'm making the caveat. Just because Kenjaku is not physically or like his curse technique is super powerful, which I don't think both of those things are like necessarily true, but I'm saying him being good at like capturing Gojo is not reflective of his strength alone, right? Which is what we're getting at. We're talking about like in a fight where you don't have like this absurd prep time.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying, right, is you have like one of two scenarios, right? It's either you have the analogy of like a sports analyst being able to understand the science and the nuance of why people are able to do this, and they want to test the limits of the human body, right, to see what it can do. They just want to see how far they can push it, right? Or
Okay.
two, you're arguing that what he's looking for doesn't necessarily relate to strength, and if that's the case, we have no reason to assume he's even awakened strength because that might not interest him. Either way, you can't make the assertion that he's awakened because of those traits.
Even okay. I'm willing to accept the L momentarily on this debate because I want to see Kenjaku elaborate on what his goals are, right?
Sure, I think that's fair.
The second he says some
Um,
shit like, "Oh yeah, I want to see if like these organisms that I'm trying to create can do math better," I'm coming back on here and I'm gonna talk my shit.
okay, sure. But what I'm saying is, if he's fucking making a curse or he's trying to create a sorcerer that can do math better, why would that impact his strength? Like, why would that mean that he's developing his strength?
No, I'm not. Oh my god, you're very frustrating, man. Sometimes, BR.
What? Okay, I'll ask you this: what is the core of this argument? Like, what are we talking about, right? Because I want to make sure we're on the
Okay.
same page here. What we're arguing about,
I'm
right?
okay.
Why do you think Kenjaku is drastically stronger than Geto? Right, that's what we're going over,
My
right?
okay. my thing is predicated on having a deeper understanding of cursed energy as a whole, right? Let me make my point as clear as I can because I feel like I'm accidentally separating fighting from knowledge from science or whatever. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive, right? But sorry, not exclusive. It doesn't have to be so limiting to one definition. Cursed energy doesn't have to just be about fights as the end all be all, which is why I'm like so pressed about this because Kenjaku, just by virtue of understanding his power system better, does make him stronger, but it's not what he uses it for. Strength isn't his end all be all. It's to make this thing, but by making this thing through the pursuit of his knowledge, has become stronger, just like as a side effect. That is my take.
Sure. Okay. That's fine, right? If he's become stronger than he was before as a pursuit of this knowledge of cursed energy, right? That's cool. That's completely fine. I don't necessarily disagree with the fact that him pursuing the secrets of cursed energy would make him stronger. What I am saying, though, right, is that when you have someone like Kenjaku, right, who's as far as we know, they're predicating things off of like they want to create something that like the panel I sent you is just like he says basically he wants to create something that can okay,
Surpass.
I'll send the panel before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically like I want to make something I want to the fuck let me just quote it directly.
Also, we are six likes
Wants to
away from
see
100, so y'all better smash it.
he's basically like there's more to human potential, right? I can't create that myself though, right? The only way to make that is fucking chaos, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
to have you guys fight at it and literally the strongest will win. Like the one at the peak of their human potential will survive, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying though, right, is if Kenjaku is already admitting he cannot create this himself, excuse me, and he has these hard limitations on his own power. What I'm saying is a lot of these things can be theoretical, whereas they don't translate to power. Which I know you're not saying Kenjaku's only power, but this whole thing like came from us saying, like us talking about Geto and Kenjaku as combatants, right?
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, if Kenjaku, a lot of Kenjaku's things about cursed energy are theoretical, which they very well may be, because we literally don't have anything that goes either way, right?
Okay.
If he just has a lot of theoretical knowledge that he can't apply, right? For example, a lot of people probably know about Black Flash. That doesn't mean everybody can apply it in a fight, right?
I mean, you literally can't do it on purpose. That's the whole point.
Unless you're Yuji. But
I
what I'm
mean,
right.
yeah.
But what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying though is that that's actually a perfect point. There's a massive difference between theoretical knowledge and applicable abilities, right? So
Okay.
sure, if I wanted to concede, maybe Kenjaku does have more knowledge on curse energy than any character we've seen before. That doesn't mean he can apply it to himself in any meaningful way, right?
Okay.
That's the point I'm getting at, right? So if I'm saying, sure, he has this theoretical knowledge that doesn't help him within the context of fighting, and he's lost the thousands of curses that Geto have, what reason could he possibly be stronger, at least to a considerable degree, than Geto? Because I said auto transfiguration, great point. But if there is another point, I'm curious at what that is, right? Because I think auto transfiguration is the only like upside he has. Which, to be fair, it's a big one though. So, mhm. Got you.
Siren. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks.
No, you're
This is.
good. You're good. You're good.
Oh man, this
All
hurts.
right. All right, let me read through chat. Let me read through chat. If you wanna meet up or whatever, I can do that and I can read through chat until it passes. All right. Yuji became 120% stronger after hitting the Black Flesh against Mahito, and he was only at 10% of his health. I don't think 120% stronger is necessarily the case. I don't know if you'd say that's the same as reaching 120% of your potential, but that's a temporary amp that you get from Black Flesh. None of those are permanent. Um,
Also, I'm not saying that all the power ups have to be linearly as strong. Like, it's not like first you hit Black Flash, and then you can do domain expansions, and then like a maximum technique, and then you can do fucking I don't know, whatever the hell Gojo does that's unique to him.
yeah, like never running out of cursed energy like
Yeah,
that.
right. I'm not saying
Um,
that that's like the hard pipeline. I'm just saying it's not an insane leap of logic to assume that in Kenjaku's 1,000+ year lifespan through multiple different bodies, and multiple different levels of study in cursed energy, that he doesn't come out the other end a stronger being. Like Sukuna is also a being who has probably more experience in combat, like has a crazy rich understanding of cursed energy, and like to the point where his soul has its own safeguards, right? Like he was not in any way shaken by Mahito's idle transfiguration, even when Mahito should technically have been the superior person based off cursed energy amounts alone, right? Sukuna is
You think the
very,
soul ties in the cursed energy? Like those two things are
I think
part of the same.
body, soul, cursed energy are all kind of unified, right? Like the that's my interpretation at least, right? I know like when it comes to interpretations like Mahito's, it's very like context dependent. So
Yeah.
that's my like reading of JJK. For
Okay.
yeah, for what that's worth. But it still though, my point is like if we've seen what the result of all of that does to Sukuna, right? You know, the king of curses, who, yes, I will admit, Gege stated is basically just a walking natural calamity since he was like born, in the same way that Gojo was, you know, actually literally stated to be built different when he was born, despite, if you really think about it, him being so weak as a kid, you know, because he's a kid.
Yeah.
It's,
He's a literal baby
yeah,
and
and he still had
an
people
actual newborn.
retired. So I get
Yep.
it. I get where your stance is coming from, but my stance is it's not a crazy thing to think that like Kenjaku's quest for knowledge didn't come with some cool side effects. Like, hey, I just fucking get cursed energy more than you. Therefore, what I'm about to do to you is going to be considered a fucking crime.
I mean, maybe. I think I just hold the position that potential over knowledge in terms of like how important that is to a JJK
But
fight.
don't you think that
I think
Kenjaku can get around the potential limitation because of the whole body switch thing?
sure, but we're talking about Kenjaku like in Geto's body. And I don't and we don't know it's kind of hard to tell if the potential thing, like for example, if Kenjaku body swapped with Gojo as soon as he was born, right? Would he be able to become as strong as him? I don't know. A lot of that lies in your personality, right? Um, like we know that like your personality kind of dictates a lot of like how much of your potential you can bring out. So maybe it does, but it's also kind of weird because like we've seen, it's potential, it's personality, and to me, those are like the primary things, and technique. To me, those are the primary things that create a strong character, right? You miss any of those things, you're not going to be like in that top tier, upper echelon of the verse, right? I
Mm.
don't think it's possible. I don't think if you don't have a broken technique, you're gonna be limited to be strong. If you're not like able to throw everything to the wind in order for the pursuit of your goals, you're gonna be limited to being strong. And if you don't have a ridiculous amount of potential, you're going to be limited to being strong, right? It's only the perfect combination of those three things that allows you to get top three in the verse, in my opinion. Like,
So
if,
I'm
yeah, go
not,
ahead.
I'm not like, just to be clear, I'm not making the claim that Kinjaku is even like crazy strong relative to Gojo, Sukuna, Yuta, right? I'm just saying that I think where he's at right now compared to where all the other characters are right now, he is number three. Dot because the rest of them aren't done reaching their full potential. I'm saying Kenjaku in Geto's body with idle transfiguration is his full potential, and it just happens to be crazy high. The second, and unless like his artificial means of increasing his power is just consuming like stronger curse spirits like Mahito, like Gojo and Dagon, if Jogo and Dagon, if he got his hands on them, that's one thing, right? But fundamentally, everybody beneath Kenjaku has not had the same ceiling hit yet. Therefore, Kinjaku is stronger than them at this current point in time. And on a tactical level, he holds all the cards, so that's another thing.
Maybe. I
Also,
guess I guess maybe what it is because I don't necessarily disagree that Kenjaku is probably in the top echelon. I guess maybe we just disagree how high Geto would be if he were alive.
yeah, because I think Kinjaku would have the advantage over Geto. That's just how
Yeah.
I see it.
I like the way I see it is I think ooh, excuse me, voice crack. I think Geto, like at full power, Loki might slap up current Yuta, but that's a crazy debate. I'm not sure if I don't know if I want to stand on that because Chad looking kind of vicious, We got 150 people in chat. Like, do I really want to? Do I really want smoke with all 150 of you plus creams? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But like, low key.
Dude, you know, I read this chat earlier that was like when the chatters are speaking about a different. Yeah, I found it when the chat is talking about something different from the streamers.
It's
uh,
like most of chat, bro. They've been arguing. I've been looking. I've been
yeah,
like watching
me too.
chat go by. I'm like, dude, what are y'all talking about?
For real, like they just be arguing with each other. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
um,
What? Repeat that. All right, let me repeat my take real quick.
all right.
I think. Listen, now, y'all might not agree because I think this is something that requires a bit of elaboration if I were to go into it. But I think it is possible to make an argument that Geto at full power, like at the end of like volume 0, right? If in this hypothetical he has all his curses, right? It might slap up current Yuta, like low. Like no, I don't think it's gonna be like a low div, but like low key he might put the hands on him.
I love that. I love that. I don't know if I agree with you. I genuinely think it's it depends on how hard you compare you compare past Utah to current Utah and that whole 3 month gap of power. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I want to be publicly associated with you after that take though. Not
that's
gonna
kind of
lie.
crazy. I don't know. I don't know how that like. So some of chat thinks I'm spitting. Some of chat thinks I'm a dumbass.
I mean,
I'm
is
not
this a
sure.
take you're gonna like live or die by? Like,
Oops. Live and die. I'm gonna make a video. That's actually a good idea. I might make a video on that. Maybe that'll get me out of my fucking slump. Anyways, I think so. Not live and die by it, but I do think. Here's what I think. Right. Here's what I think. Basically, like the short and sweet version. Right. Full power Getzo over, like full power Yuta in JJK 0. Full power Yuta relative, if not I think relative to current Yuta, albeit in different ways. Like they don't fight the same, but I do think that their overall like the overall power that they have at their disposal is pretty similar, if not current Yuta even maybe being weaker. Um, Due to like some extenuating circumstances, right? So I just think like by transitive property, if Geto greater than, strongest Yuta, then he should be greater than weaker Yuta.
actually
But
insane takes that you're spitting out right now, man.
yeah, yeah.
Broken Ronin. This is it for you, bro. You can never speak about JJK ever again.
This isn't even my craziest take, bruh. This isn't even my craziest take.
Do you even know
Not my
what your
craziest take.
craziest take is? Just like right
No,
off the yeah.
I don't. No, off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, that's probably what
Maybe that
happens
me,
after having so many of them.
maybe that Miwa will like one shot Kenjaku, like she'll cut off his arm or
Oh
something.
my god, dude. That's just that's copium. That's
Copium.
that's
He
insanity.
was gonna be great.
Seek help.
He was gonna be great.
BR has indeed fallen, Frank. I'm glad we're all on the same page. BR, this is your intervention. Chat and I are very concerned about your mental well-being.
Nice. Personal hot take: now you versus now graded Nobito. If not in a fight, sure. In terms of like character, I would agree with you.
Uh, I think that's kind of it for stream. Unless there's like anything else. By the way, um, these live streams, right? Anybody who's here blind, we do them every Sunday. After the chapters release by a couple hours, depending on if we can get the thumbnail done fast enough and we don't end up, chatting for an hour or two before we actually go live. Uh, so, I guess check us out every Sunday. Subscribe.
Sure.
Oh my god, dude. I was like asking myself, how the hell are they gonna know that we do that every Sunday? And I was like, all right, they
Oh yeah,
can
the subscribe button.
Yeah,
Or follow us on Twitter. Or
yeah.
do both.
Yeah, honestly, it's in the description. So, however you want to follow this podcast, that's how you do it. Or if you just want to use your memory, pull a
Yeah.
Play-Doh or yeah.
Simply remember. Simply don't forget. Um, but yeah, pretty good stream. Pretty had fun.
Yeah,
Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next week.
yeah. Thanks for watching. Later.
Peace.